much ado because of this fucking dog
Yeah, we
and
can
not
get
being able to figure this life out. Um, well, welcome back. Hopefully
Yeah.
everybody had a good Thanksgiving. We are at the final day of my extended weekend due to the Thanksgiving holiday.
You had a 4-day weekend?
Had a 4-day weekend. We are on Sunday now.
Why did everybody have a 4-day weekend but me? I get so many weird ass holidays off, but I don't get
Listen,
the day after Thanksgiving.
Black Friday is not a holiday. I don't know why we have it off.
Because what's the point of going back to work for one day? Nobody does.
They've done things like that. I mean, it's not like it would be new,
You would it's so many red flags. Like you seen those that red flag thing where you can on social media you'd be like, oh, he does this and they got
And
the
they put
red flag
37
emoji.
red flags.
The red flag that I think everybody should be more aware of. What the hell's happening here? You loosen this? I saw what you did.
Yeah, I was moving things around.
I saw what you did. Is the one that you work for a company and they're like, you have to work here 8 hours. You'll never see your boss 8 hours. Like you might get some overtime, but we're gonna tax you more for it. The work on a lot of certain days. Like think about it. Why do you have to work on Sundays for as much as I hate so I don't know how to get to say this right.
Right.
I know that we, as people who don't work on Sundays, would like people to be at their job to work on a Sunday so you can go there.
We're glad that people do work on Sundays.
But I don't think people should have to
work.
work on Sundays. I don't think people should have to work. Look, okay, so we got to adopt a different system. I heard
As Homer Simpson would say, you want me to work on the Lord's Day?
I heard I've literally said that. I've said that to somebody who knew I wasn't. I know that wasn't part of my thought process. So, man, you just got me. I heard in Italy, right? Like for instance, I think that, or maybe even Spain, or even that whole little region over there, they midday go home and take a nap or some shit, for 3 hours, and then they come back to what? What are they going back to work for at that point? It's nighttime.
Well, that's why it's like the restaurants out here that they serve breakfast or some shit, but they don't serve lunch for some reason.
They be out.
But there are ones that will open up again at 4 p.m. and be like, all right, now we'll serve dinner.
It's like a whole different restaurant at that point.
Lunch is too many meals. We got to only have two.
Well, I think
focus on breakfast and dinner.
I like the idea of having one of those businesses where they're only open for 3-4 hours, dope ass brunch, and be out.
And then with that short time frame becomes exclusivity.
Yeah, that's it.
And there's mad fucking people trying to get in, and
That's
you make mad money in 4 hours.
All that matters is exclusivity nowadays. That's what I'm learning. Yo, you changed this whole.
Listen, man, I had to do some maneuvering. All right.
All you had to do is put it. This is you can do this.
No, because that section was not empty. As you can see, I've done some rearranging. Welcome to the Kiona and Kasson podcast. I'm your host, Adam, my brother, Osama, and apparently a dog that finally has decided to lay down.
He's laying down for me. He realized we ain't going to... he's not going to be able to stop this train. You can't do that, Benjamin. No. You can't.
And hold on one second.
What episode is this? 119.
I want to say 119, but I also don't want to look like an idiot. So
I think it's 119.
It is episode
I've been making an idiot out of myself. What number?
Episode 119.
Oh,
yes, indeed.
Shit.
So welcome everybody. Welcome to any new subscribers who are joining you.
I think we need something in the background of this. We need to come up. We need somebody to create a little bit of theme music, if you will. Every superhero.
Well, I used to do that.
They say every superhero needs his theme music.
I used to give them custom theme music every week, but nobody cared.
Yeah, but that was different. I mean, in the back of this.
Well, now that we have pads, we could put a beat behind things.
Yeah, or have somebody we know who's musically inclined put some sort of a sound together, and you know how they put.
We know a few musically inclined
and
people.
Clicks and clacks and booms and bangs together to make a beat.
That our home beat right now, in fact, was made by one of the musically inclined people that we know. It's a little loud, lowered at first.
We should just start introducing the pod like this. Not necessarily on beat, because we're Blueface and whatnot. But
he said, y'all know I ain't good with the beat.
I ain't good
you a
with
rapper, bro.
Yeah. But no, we should start talking over this in the beginning. Not necessarily this, but something like this.
Not this exactly, but something like this.
It could be something like this.
Yes.
I'm something like a player.
if you are watching today and you have just found us or you have been considering for the last couple of weeks, just hit the subscribe button. You know,
We appreciate you
it's our
for being
normal
here.
spiel that we got to make sure we
Right,
give
right.
y'all.
We gotta let you know in the beginning. I think we always say it at the end, and I think not many people make it to the end, so we have to say it
They
in the
stopped
beginning.
watching 5 minutes in.
All right, so I think by now we almost lost you. So before you go,
Go and check us out on all the socials.
Right,
you know,
right.
that's on Kiona and Kasson podcast. Pretty much on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all them things.
all that. But again, if you watch,
Oh, we have a Patreon too. That's important to note.
we do have a Patreon. What's the www dot?
www.patreon.com.
Yeah, but there's like a backslash
You
involved
just
usually.
search Kiona and Kasson podcast, man. We're the only thing that's gonna pop up.
Okay, that's true too.
You know.
But yeah, if you do watch or you watch, you know, fairly or not every
Tell
episode,
your
but
friends.
you do watch a little bit of our pod, please consider subscribing. We'd appreciate you. And
Also, if you have bothered to hit play on this video,
Yeah.
don't just turn it off 5 minutes. And even if you don't want to listen anymore, just let it run.
let it run throughout in the background.
Get my views up, man, so I can get monetized in this bitch. Let's go.
Views ain't gonna help us now. We're getting the views. We need the subscriptions.
Yes, but we also need to watch time.
I mean, no, but we're getting the watch time, I think.
We might be getting close. Now we're on pace to get it. But like we started the year without getting on pace to get it.
forgot to turn on the damn clock.
You didn't turn on the timer.
Nope.
We're not being timed currently. But yeah, so I did some
3 minutes
maneuvering.
until we finish. Feds are on the way, but I'm trying to see spinach. In and out. Duffel bag across the back. Extra long sports coat to cover up the mat. Feds they. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, he gets lost in his songs sometimes. But yeah, I did some maneuvering in the room to like try to change some things. I usually don't like to call attention to it. You know how I feel about that when Sam always be doing it. But
Oh, the background.
it's a pretty glaring
Yeah,
difference.
Like, what is this
So,
big ass thing in the background?
Yeah, so I mean, Sam brought up an interesting point. Y'all can like send us some cool things, you know.
Send us things, please. but we would.
I obviously
we don't
have enough-
a place. We're not going to have them send it to our address. We can have a.
No, yeah, that's true. But PO box,
We have a PO box.
or just send it through Amazon and like have it sent to like the most
Coles.
the most.
Hey, we're here to pick up something from Amazon. Like that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
It might be how it works. Just forward us the email. You know the address. Go on to
Are you
YouTube.
telling me that I can have Amazon
About
just send
us
it to
page.
fucking Kohl's and I can go just pick it up at Kohl's?
I guess I don't know. I've never actually picked up an Amazon package from Kohl's because I have a house and it just comes here.
Oh, yes. I'm just saying, like, if that's a possibility, I'm sure that there are like places that, you know, like I don't know, what would be the purpose of that? Same thing as like a PO box. All right, there's no need for that.
I have no idea, man. I don't know. I was just saying, like, we have a thing to display things on.
But
now.
anyway, yeah, we will be adding to this as things goes on. I think this would be a cool place to you just see become like slowly fill up.
I was gonna move the shoes there and put the drum set there, and then I was like, nah, but the shoes. And I was like, well, maybe if I put the drum set there, we'd like entice a whole different like musical inclined audience.
Oh,
you know?
I thought you were gonna say like the.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
shoes
the-
would inspire the drums. I was
No,
like,
no,
what the
no,
hell
no.
would those things correlate to?
I'm just saying, like the shoes have drawn out a particular demographic, so maybe the drums would also draw out a particular demographic.
Maybe
Because the shoes are still
you talking
here, and
about
so is
drum, you
that.
talking about drum play?
Drum play sounds a lot better than shoe play.
It does sound like that. It sounds like that, but
It
it sounds like
sounds-
a couple. It could be like a literal triple entendre. Think about it. Drum play, like drum play, like the guns. They
Did
got
I tell
drums,
you that?
da-da-da-da-da-da.
Did I tell you that one of the things in the analytics that drew impressions was extreme shoe play, extreme male shoe play? I said extreme. What is extreme about what we do?
Extreme cheddar. No, Harold and Kumar humor.
On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being extreme, and 1 being not extreme, I give that a 9.5.
All right, well, so they're calling.
Well,
we have extreme shoe play going on.
Evidently,
All right, I just got to put it.
we haven't swapped even shoes, and we're
No.
never going to.
I think we've.
But
been
I'm just saying-
pretty consistent in our message, but I just don't know. Like, what is
gets
extreme
more-
about what we're doing here? Is it
The-
because we wear shoes?
I feel like the level
that
is
are
amplified
cool?
every week. That like the impression that it
Yo,
caused
there's
it-
that the one episode that we got that has the most is like 2.6 thousand. Yo, it's got so many likes. I don't know why. Is that the one with the Mr. Rogers thing?
I don't know.
Should I just close it with Mr. Rogers every day?
I said, man, when we did that episode, I was so mad because I think after we finished recording, and you probably had left already at that point. I remember texting you. We should have closed it the way Mr. Rogers closes his episodes.
What, like change jackets?
No, with the song. I don't remember the exact words right now, and whatever. But it's basically talking about like you'll have things you want to talk about. I will too. We're a podcast. That's what we do. Is we talk every week. That would have been fucking smart.
We got to come up with our own Mr. Rogers thing. Well, we suck. don't slit your wrist yet, Kane.
Well, piece of shit.
Yeah, I
felt
don't
like
know
that,
what's
though.
so extreme about it, but that's cool, man. Do what you gotta do. I mean, listen, at this point, but maybe you do put the drum set there, right? And in front of the shoes. So you put it there.
Yeah, but that's literally like right behind you.
I'm not going back there. That's your place.
I want to move it a little bit. I know that because I want to be able to get behind there and do what I got to do.
That's what
drum
she
play.
said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I figured that out. I don't know. Plus, I know that somebody was mentioning here earlier on that they wanted to see the drum set in the shot, and I was like, "Yeah, I get that to you one day."
You know, with all this shoe play shit, that makes me think of the other. Like, can I see your drum play in the shot?
But that's fine.
Your drums in the shot.
Drums are meant to be played.
Yes.
Shoes. I just wear my shoes. I didn't understand how that really correlated to extreme shoe play.
Extreme shoe play.
But hey, man, listen.
Hey,
Whatever.
Float your boat.
Whatever brings you here, I guess.
I'm learning to accept people as they are, man. Whatever. I just gotta. Listen. All I can worry about is myself.
That's a fair point. Yes.
Right. And obviously
Some things are out of your control. And listen, man, we make this content because we want people to watch it. So as long as you're not only looking at my feet, and you're not like,
if you're listening and looking only at my feet, that's cool.
Listening, fine. Don't put me on mute. Watch my feet.
Are you imagining that my feet are the ones talking?
Like, I can give you a little bit of that.
Imagine like you're on some sort of like mushroom trip, right? Which I do intend on having at some point soon, very soon, actually. Like, imagine you're on that and you're just watching us. Or do you start seeing our shoes speaking and shit like that, and we turn into like one big like?
Is that like when you're a kid and you wore the fuck out of your shoes and now the sole is separated from the top?
Yo, I had that so many times. I had to learn the hard way so many times. Like there was a point where I had a bike, right? And the chrome bike that I think I mentioned before, the Adam got stolen. Yo, it was
right in front of my house, man. For a minute,
sucked.
1 minute in the afternoon.
Yeah, but there was like a whole bunch of white kids down the block that didn't like us.
Yeah, but see, that's because you started beef with them. So you really got it stolen if you think about it.
Wasn't my fault. No, it's your fault. You should have took that motherfucker in the backyard.
I went in to get a cup of water for 1 minute. All right.
1 minute's all it takes.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't have been taken had you not caused some drama.
Dude, I had caused that drama mad summers before.
Yeah, well, and people don't forget.
I didn't cause that drama. He got mad. He got mad, man. And then he took the bike that you know how long it took me to take all those dumbass stickers off? That was a dope little BMX too. I bet. You know what I thought about that? Maybe it's weird how I think about things. Like for instance, I've lost 2 like nice pair of sunglasses in the ocean, right? I like to think that they've met up somewhere in the ocean down on the bottom, just chilling there because they're not floating. They just kept going and going, right? Or they're buried in the sand right where I dropped them at, underneath the water.
Maybe like after it hit a certain depth, like the ocean does turn into SpongeBob and things are really like alive down there. And now
somebody like there's like a fish. There's a fish with my sunglasses on. Like that would be hilarious. Like if under the sea really,
or maybe like it landed on the arms, so it caused a big dark cloud and they thought doomsday was coming type of shit.
I mean, they said under the sea, under the sea.
It's definitely some high shit.
Something is something. Something is something under the sea. I guess
darling, it's better down where it's wetter. Take it from me. That's some dirty ass lyrics, by the way.
Nothing gets wetter down. Wait,
no,
nothing gets better down where it's wetter.
Said, darling, it's better down where it's wetter. Take it from me.
Darling,
I think it's darling.
That's toxic because he was what a lobster, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Fucking
Sebastian.
Yo, lobsters are hilarious, man.
Hey,
I
man.
can't. So they run around like this, like they run like almost like they're scared of everything. And like they're like, for instance, their eyes look like they're always.
Wait, are you talking about lobster or are you talking about crabs?
Which one has the eyes that are like up?
Because I'm pretty sure you're talking about crabs right now.
Crabs, lobsters, same thing.
We are the crabs. Your nuts will grab. We live on toilet seats and bed sheets.
From fucking. Oh, but I was thinking about that bike, like probably not too long ago before I went to bed one day. I was just sitting there And I was about to go knock out, and I was just thinking about it's in somebody's basement right now, and I am not happy that it's not mine. Because I'd have that motherfucker in my house right now. I don't give a fuck.
It might be in someone's basement, or maybe they fucked it up, and maybe they got it stolen. You know,
It probably did get fucked up. That thing was nice, man. You dick. But I brought that bike up to say, because you talked about shoes that talked.
Right.
And
Well, I mean,
that bike had no
you did,
That
but-
bike had no brakes.
yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
So I had to stop. Like, I would like stop by jamming my fucking shoe into the back fucking tire. Like, dude, I would skid. Like, I was good at it though. I could skid and shit like that. But like at the end of that, right? Like, I don't know. I had started doing that. I think the brake thing was new in that spring for me. So like the shoes that I had to try to last the whole year, they got quickly eaten up. Like the back was all fucking
There's
chewed
not a
up.
single bit of grip on the bottom anymore.
No, it was like something had like literally bored a hole into the sole. I was like, what the fuck, man? It was the worst pair. And then I've had shoes that were ripped.
Man.
Pops is like, no.
When you're a kid, you can do some things to shoes that like you just don't understand as an adult. Like, how the fuck did I manage that?
I started to
When I look
appreciate
at my
them.
shoes now, I'm like, man.
I think I really
Could
started
never.
to appreciate sneakers.
When I started to pay for them on myself and see how expensive the fuck they were.
Yeah, well, do you remember the first pair of sneakers you bought yourself?
It was probably just a pair for Air Forces or some shit.
I think mine were too. But I want to say, when did I have my car? It was junior year. It was. I used to buy myself some because I worked, but like I didn't have like a good job. I think I worked at Sears.
Yeah.
Sears fired me for doing some shit that they said I did that I didn't do. Yo, on some real shit. Fuck
Make
Sears.
us think the thoughts that think we thought, I think.
Fuck Sears, dude. I'm glad they're out of business.
I think the first real significant pair of shoes that I was able to buy that like, and I was able to get them for a nice discount was probably those 10s, man, them Venom Greens.
Those are the first pair of shoes you remember buying?
No. I remember those are the first like real significant like, hey, all
So,
right, pair that I had.
I remember buying a few, right? Like I do remember when I first started, my junior year is when I first started buying kicks. So I could I didn't buy like a lot, but I could kind of throw out like what I remember buying.
Yeah.
I had one point decided to buy a pair of black leather Timbs and black Air Force One mid tops same day. Like I was like, I want both. I gotten paid. I was like,
I had a leather thing going on.
I had gas in the thing, and it was
That's gonna be the
and
new-
gas was like $1.45 back then, so it was mad cheap.
That's gonna be the new impressions keyword now, you know?
What?
You got fucking leather shoes, so now it's gonna be like, leather male shoe
Can
play.
the algorithm sense what we say that? Is that what happens?
Bro, it has to be.
I guess with the metaverse and all, which
Because
we
it's
got to
not-
speak about as well, because that's hilarious.
It's not like I put the
I got
tag-
some theories on that.
It's not like I put a tag for shoe play in our thing, but every week there's like more about it. So I'm pretty sure the algorithm is just pulling word. If it can auto generate subtitles, it can definitely pull.
So the fucking computers listening to us before we even put. You know what? That's some crazy shit. That's like a literal invasion of our privacy.
That's eagle eye for you.
But I remember my first pair of like actual. So like I grew up in a time, or my era was like when Air Forces were like, you had black ones, you had white ones, but those were like a staple in your like everybody had that shit back then.
Yep.
But
I
like
think
my
Dr.
first,
Dre to this day still don't rock more than one. Don't rock one pair more than once. Or some shit.
man, it's fucking nuts. That what you need?
Nah, go ahead. I'm just.
Okay.
Sarah texted real fast.
Oh, okay. So like the next pair I remember, or the first pair I remember buying that was like kind of like out of the ordinary, was a pair of mid-top white Air Force Ones with the red bottom and red check.
Mm-hmm.
I bought them joints. I remember that was one of my favorite pair of shoes ever. But those got beat up because the trick to Air Force Ones, the mids, was to put the strap through, put the lace through the strap, so the strap wouldn't flap around a lot. Once it starts flapping, that leather gets worn because they were really good. Like,
And
they
it's
were
just an
pretty good leather
annoying
back then.
feeling when you're trying to walk around and it's just flapping
Flapping
around.
around. But no, like that's the way to keep it like nice and clean. At least within that, the leather stays stiff right there.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to those. And then I remember buying a pair of. I got like I remember getting a fucking like $90 or $95 for signing up at TCF. That bank preyed on the child, man.
Hell yeah, they were like, we'll give you $100 for signing up. And
That's what happened. I got $100 for signing up.
Chase was doing that too at the time. Like a few
But
places
Chase
were
wasn't
doing it
around back then. Chase
Oh,
was
it was Bank One.
Bank One or First Chicago Bank or some shit like that. There was a few iterations before it.
Yeah. I think it was Bank One before, like the most recent one before it went to Chase.
It's possible.
Yeah.
But so I remember they gave me like $100. You remember that? You'd be a kid, you'd be like, I get $100 for this?
All I have to do is just sign up.
How many can I sign up? How many? But man, they preyed on the kids because man, $34 for fucking like everybody's $34 for an overdraft.
Yeah.
But man, kids are gonna overdraft like no matter what, and they wouldn't stop it. Like
Yeah.
you just get like as many times as you did it,
Well,
you get charged.
all right, when I opened my Chase account, I was working at Dominic's still. I was 16. I had just started
I
fucking
opened my
working.
first
Well,
account at like 15.
that was my first like corporate job where I had a corporate structure anyway. Right?
Company man.
But because of that, like there was a Chase in the building, and they really worked with everything. You know, when you were an employee, they considered you almost an employee there. So,
because you get kind of like the employee benefits of
Right.
that. Yeah.
plus, I had like student checking and shit like that. So they,
Oh yeah, there's mad like ways to entice you to put money in a bank account.
yeah.
They never taught you how to make money like grow. Yeah, bitch.
Like, listen, I
Don't
want to
get me
put
started
more
on
in
that
here.
shit though.
It's nice to have a place to store
be
my
all-
money.
I'd like to put more in it,
Right.
but you're not allowing me, motherfucker.
It's almost no point to have a bank account.
You know, this shit just get you look at your bank account and just be mad withdrawals and no deposits. You're like, oh, I got some money.
There's one deposit every once in a while.
It's like this is some bullshit.
Sad.
But I remember buying a pair of high top leather Air Force Ones, but with just the gum bottom. So the black leather gum bottom.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember those. I think those came down to you too.
Yeah,
a few
probably.
pairs of my kicks came down to your ass, but they were still in decent condition when you got them.
Yeah. Huh, yeah.
That's why they're not around no more because you're dragging feet ass.
Listen, man, I didn't have a collection like I do now. So I wasn't able to swap pair. I had the same fucking shoes every day.
I don't know, like a Vivi be dragging her fucking feet when she walks a lot. I'm like, yo, you need to pick them motherfuckers up.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you start to get more careful with your shoes when you start to spend $200 on a pair. You know?
I remember I remember earlier in my life I realized I was like, yo, I drag my feet a lot. Like, cause you would see like I'm like, that's fucked up. I already get like a heel drag on my right to the right a lot.
But see, when we were kids, it was still the era where like you would be outside playing, right?
And you
So
wore your kicks and shit.
So you didn't want to like have. I mean, you don't want to spend a lot of money on. Well, for us, right? For me, anyway. Like I didn't have money on my own until high school, obviously, when I started like actually. So I wasn't able to go and buy my own random shit, and our parents weren't trying to go and put up money to buy some nice shoes for me. They knew I was going to run around.
You got one pair a year, and you might get a pair in the summer, like depending on if Mama went on like a bingo. Remember, Ma would like.
Dude, she had luck every year.
No lie, without fail, almost right.
Like right around Christmas time, maybe like a
Christmas
month before.
or even like right when it was school clothes time, right?
Yeah.
Because like we would like not that our dad wouldn't buy us school clothes, right? Like he did, but like he was very conventional with things, right?
Yeah.
Like you only need a couple of these things to
Right,
go.
like
He
what's
grew
wrong
up.
with your clothes that
He
you
grew
have
up
right now?
overseas, man. Like you know what I'm saying?
Minimalist.
So, but Ma would like win like $500 on a fucking scratch off.
Yeah, man.
And I remember vividly one, like she told us, like I came home, it was raining. We were riding our bikes coming from the park. Like it was one of those storms where you're just riding your bike in the summer. And I remember one of those cool ass, like, just vivid memories I have of just like a glimpse. But we got there. I remember she had won like $500 for like school clothes because it was like mid-August, late August.
Yeah.
So we were able to get clothes and shit. But
I remember a few times like I would be coming home from wherever, and she'd be out like on the porch across the street, like hanging out with the neighbors over there, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I won $500 to scratch you today." Like
now we can get
like, damn kid.
Like now we get some she was able to get things that we would need. Like it would come
Yeah.
in the nick of time, which was pretty dope.
When she would take us to Marshalls and be like, "Here, you get a couple extra things." Like
Yeah, you know. But like that's where Marshalls was like where we would go for school shopping a lot. There,
Well, Marshalls had it was a
back then it had better selection. I think
Yeah.
nowadays it's not that great.
yeah.
But no, we would get one pair a year, right? Or if you could finesse it, like you could, because once he started buying like Nikes and things like that.
Yeah.
But that's where moms like lucky streak in those areas would come into play because mom would like splurge a little bit more for some kicks.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, so she would take me to like Tony Sports, and she would finesse dude a little bit to get like I don't know, fucking a 2 for like 110 or something like that. Because like maybe you might, and that's when kicks were a lot cheaper.
Yeah, and they had like it was more of a like boutique.
Not a lot
that
cheaper,
store
but
too.
relatively cheaper,
Yeah.
and maybe even a lot. Because I was looking at those the 11s that are coming out, $225, man.
Yeah.
I really want a pair, but like I don't know if I'm gonna be able to grab that shit. To be honest.
I mean, well, first of all, I was also wrong. I thought December 11th is or 17th is the 11th that they come out. So I believe that's the Friday prior.
that's. Are you gonna try to grab them?
If I'm not mistaken, I get paid that Friday.
That's
so
nice. Wait, I might do
probably-
too. I might get that too then, because I think we're on the same, or we're alternating.
No, we're on the same now.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
just got paid?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking yeah, I want those,
so,
man.
So if anybody got to connect,
Man,
my birthday is the following Thursday.
yo, if you watch and you're from like I don't know, somewhat Nike Town from Chicago or something, yo.
Even if you are in Portland, Oregon, and you work in the Nike headquarters, and you're like, yo,
I always thought I'd work at Nike, man. That was always my because I was doing marketing,
yeah,
with my degree, and I always thought Nike might be a place I'd end up.
that's where you wanted to do like interns and shit, internships.
Yeah, but it's hard to get those, man. Like, because I wasn't the greatest student,
Yeah.
but like I'm more of a hey, I can add value to your company through who I actually am and not what the book says.
Yeah,
That's like my least favorite thing about like schooling. Like before, I guess we can get off of like I don't know sneakers and whatnot, but I don't know, but like that's my biggest thing is they don't really.
Well, now they want you to have schooling and experience, and I'm like,
Yeah.
bitch, how can you have both? When you want it, if I want to go to school for something that I specialize in, that's going to take a lot of my energy because it's going to be a lot
It's
of
not even-
direct shit.
It's not even an efficient way to learn what you're trying to go to school for.
School is not meant to be an efficient way to learn those things, though. Nothing that you do is like hands on. It's like book study. So I learn by doing, not by just listening.
And I think that's the majority of people, but they don't design it.
That's
that
why they
way.
make vocational schools. They're like, oh, you can't learn in a regular academia situation. Fuck you, get out of here.
Yeah, they're quick to classify you, ain't they?
Yeah, bitches.
Like, think about like all those classes back in the day. Like the fact that they separate all the kids who are like special needs. I guess it's there's reasons for that, and I understand it. But like sometimes, like even I don't think everybody who was put in like one of those like what's that class?
Honors classes and
No,
shit?
no, like the other side of it.
Oh, like special ed classes.
Yeah, like special ed, but not special ed. Like there's like another one underneath, like the special kids class, but I guess special needs. But they would classify you as special needs, even if I guess it was like if you were dyslexic, I think they would call you special needs.
learning
and-
disabilities.
True, but like you're not really. You just need to be.
You know the pretty ones
need to
in that dumb
learn-
class.
you need to-
Plus, you got that dumb.
You need to learn, I guess, in a different way. But they classify you. That's the problem. Like they're quick to segregate people into their little groups. They've
That's all
decided.
school is. There's literally a middle class. You got honors classes, you got special ed classes, and then you got the middle class. And it's everybody who can't get straight A's, but also is not getting F's.
Yo,
pretty
I
much.
was accidentally put into like honors English in senior year. I was like, yo, listen, I'm pretty sure me, like if I actually cared about school, I'd have done well in the class. But I don't want to, like, I already wanted to try as little as possible.
Yeah.
Right?
I already did not want to be here for the part of things where I'm supposed to learn.
So now you're going to make me have like a even worse grading scale. Like, I'm not trying to be here and doing this.
When my freshman year, they put me in.
I was like, yo, I'm not really supposed to be in this class.
Freshman year, they put me in 2 honors
didn't want
classes. And it would have been fine, but I was at Taft, and it was just, I was not focused. But I got like a 98%.
Plus you got that dumbass? That's what it was?
I got an A in one of them, but the other one was a science class, and I'm pretty sure I got an F in that class. So when I think about it, I was like so mad that I'm still mad that we fucking moved out of that neighborhood. But it's a blessing in disguise that I left that school because I probably would have
They
been
put you in that special
a
class?
Demo 7, 8, 9 times. Like, yo, son, it's time for you to go. You're 27 years old. Like, you can't.
You can't be in here doing this.
No, I'm not that stupid. It wouldn't have taken me that long. But if I can get 6 years out of community colleges,
What about this motherfucker? No,
Yeah.
honestly, I don't know. But I always thought that that's why I never really cared for school in terms of like the way they structure it is pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
It just makes you. I think it already gives you a complex.
Yeah.
It creates a complex within you,
But it's all
at an
division.
early age.
I mean, you're talking about junior, senior being upperclassmen, right? Then you're also
Well,
talking
you
about
are
varsity.
typically-
And,
well, I mean-
you're talking about varsity and junior. I'm just saying it's very separated in a lot of ways,
of course,
like that.
of
You know?
course. There's. I mean, being a teenager is complex as fuck.
It really is.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things and emotions and fucking, just
And
life
now-
challenges to navigate through.
Now add the fact that all the teenagers are soft as a fucking butter, and that just adds a whole lot more complication to it.
Yeah, it becomes a thing. So like, we got like, I don't know how it is to be a teenager nowadays.
Listen,
I'd
man.
imagine there's like,
I imagine it was harder for us than for them. That's all I'm saying. And you know,
I don't know if you can say that based because we don't know how it is. We weren't a generation that grew up with the internet at our fingertips.
yes,
from
but
an
we were
early
also
age.
a generation that handled our beefs in person.
Yeah,
As we've been
obviously,
through this.
obviously that I agree, but I just also think that there's just differences in how we grew up. You can't like psychological shit, like just like how you're classified in class and all that can affect how you go about thinking about things as you grow older.
Yeah.
I think that can do the same way.
I guess I just would have hoped that our generation would have been better parents.
Well, you know,
Raising
all the
soft
ladies
children.
independent, and then there was what was the other one for that the guys had? No pigeons.
I think it was no scrubs and then no pigeons.
But no pigeons
So,
is terrible. Scrubs is so much better because Scrubs rolls off the tongue. Pigeons, it's too many syllables.
they just
I
couldn't
don't
let that
want
slide.
no
Is all
pigeons.
it was. You know.
The best one is Neo to the right.
Oh yeah, that's funny when artists parody other artists.
I
songs.
think that's really funny. Actually, the ones like artists who aren't still trying to come up.
yeah, they're actually like established artists. and they're
That's
just
why
in
everybody's mad at Jacquees because Jacquees keeps making everybody's songs like instead of
there.
doing
Because
his own.
Jacquees doesn't have a classic of his own song.
But he's really got a dope voice. Like,
Motherfucker, there's many great cover artists. Go look at YouTube. It's just covered with
there's
amazing
some
cover
really-
artists.
Yeah.
Shut up, Jacquees.
Can you
Stop
make a
putting him
living
on.
off being a cover artist?
Evidently.
What if your shtick is that you suck and you just keep doing
Apparently,
that?
if you-
you just keep making them.
Apparently, if you link up with Birdman,
You suck.
that's who you linked up with, right? Birdman. That's why like he's in the whatever.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know, but apparently, if you find the right person to be like, yeah, this is a great cover artist, then you'll be in good shape. I don't know. I hate the fact that people support him. To be honest,
Who, Jacquees?
yeah,
I like Jacquees.
fuck Jacquees.
Nah, I won't say all that.
Listen,
I like
I'll be in my house just singing songs all day long. You don't see me getting rich off it. Fuck you.
Why don't you try it?
Because I can't sing.
Well, to you, but maybe somebody likes your shitty voice and they continue to listen.
Listen,
There's a lot of shitty things in the world, man. People be fucking
I guess
with
all
it.
perspective. Because if you look at something long enough, you can find something to love about it or
Dude, look
something
at
to hate
those
about it.
ugly ass Balenciaga shoes. Them motherfuckers look like clumps of shoes put together, like with just random, like somebody's just like sew this together. Big ass sole,
Some rich people shit I don't
like
understand.
moon boots.
But I'm not meant to understand it.
dude, fuck.
I
all
can't
that.
afford Balenciagas. Maybe they feel great inside.
No,
you know.
I heard they're not. I heard they're uncomfortable.
Well, who'd you hear that from?
I don't know.
Somebody who has some?
Probably not a credible source.
There you go. It's like that's
But I
what it
don't
matters.
care. I still wouldn't buy no.
You got to
fucking-
qualify
They're
it
too
before you start
expensive.
telling me things.
they're
What makes you a credible source for
I'd
this
rather wear
information?
something like these than a fucking Balenciaga.
Yeah, probably me too. But I'm just saying, like, there's a reason why people go and put this money out.
Now I would like to explore some other luxury brands, if you will.
Listen,
but
I don't really need any luxury shoes. All I really want to do is get to the point where I'm wealthy enough to put a big
not
ass
shoes.
chain around my neck.
Not shoes. I'm talking about like I would like to
24 inch,
explore,
24 carat rope.
I'd like to buy all the different kinds of sweatpants in the world. I said
All of
pantses.
them?
Pants.
You want all of the sweatpants?
Well, not all of them, but all the comfortable ones, man. Like the best quality, like linens in the world, the finest linens.
Yeah. I mean, I hear you. And there are levels to that shit.
But you don't hear me though.
What'd I just say?
No, I'm telling you, that would be that'd be ideal. All the sweatpants.
No,
I've
I
also
mean-
come up. So we were bowling right on Friday, which is cool because I haven't bowled in a long time. I used to be in a bowling league. way
Shout out
back-
to Max, by the way.
way back when. Happy birthday to my
Happy
mans
birthday.
and shit. So we were bowling, and I'm not really telling the story because we were bowling as much as I'm telling the fact that. So I've come to the conclusion in my life that you could, but you shouldn't probably wear sweatpants everywhere you go, right? I enjoy sweatpants, and like I'll wear a nice pair of sweatpants to places, but eventually I think you need to come up with a different way to do things. So,
But how many ways is there for a man? Like
one
you got
other way.
jeans,
One other way for me.
sweatpants.
Fuck. I don't like jeans.
So
Jeans,
what?
jeans be
So
uncomfortable.
what?
We've discussed
slacks?
this. Chinos.
Okay.
All right. See, I got your attention. You're like, well, what the hell is a chino? Well, let me tell you, sir. It's pretty much a slack, but it's not. It's like a slack.
It's like
It's like a
Dickies?
slack sweatpant, right? It's not a sweatpants like by aesthetic, or you wouldn't even really.
This sounds incredibly questionable.
No,
right now.
they're not sweatpants. Like they're not like but they feel like slacks. But they're very forgiving. Like you can kneel in them and squat, and
Are
don't
they like stretchy?
not stretchy, but like they're not like stretchy in the way that you're thinking. They're just very comfortable, man. Like a very comfortable pants, and you can rock them.
Do they fit like slacks more or less?
Yeah, for the most part, but not like, but they're not too dressy. Like you could. What I'm saying is, you could rock them. I don't know. For me, like I thought they were the best pants, like to go out with. Like on Friday, I was like, I'll rock these. You know what I'm saying? Like just because they're a good option. You can rock them with sneakers. Like even like a nice pair of shoes. We ain't no fashion. Like we're a sneaker podcast, not a like a fashion podcast. And some people may disagree with me, but fuck you.
I mean, to
this
some
is
degree,
what
we're a fashion podcast as well.
I guess I don't know.
We're not really a sneaker podcast, except for in the way that we talk about sneakers that we have on for
and
the
we're
week,
not really
so
a fashion podcast, unless you're talking about in the way that
we're
we
dressed
wear
for
clothes
the day.
that are
Yes.
used.
Yeah,
for
but see,
clothes.
clearly those things are yeah.
Listen.
Not the same as what we anticipate them being construed as. So,
Well, listen, Chino.
got me misconstrued.
I'm telling you, go take a look. I bought them from Express, right?
Okay.
And
Express sounds like a place that you would probably find something the way you described.
but very comfortable, man. I'm telling you, and it's just a good way to like. You don't feel like you know how like in jeans you just be like, man, my nuts need to be arranged.
I don't
But,
enjoy
like,
being in
with
jeans either.
Yeah, I hate 'em.
Because first of all, I don't like fitted jeans for the most part. Like they just still feel like they're too tight. But
Yeah, I don't do
I
fitted
can't.
jeans.
But it's like trying to find the balance between baggy and like not too baggy. And
Yeah,
it's
I
like
don't like it to drape over my shoe too much, and then that's how. Remember, like baggy. Like I remember having like big ass jeans that I couldn't even. If I put them on today, I feel like what the fuck. Like I remember even having jeans that I felt were like fitted jeans compared to the baggy jeans.
Yeah.
And when I put those on, I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, because you know what the fucked up thing is, like this new fashion trend with sweatpants, right? Well, I guess it's not new
It's not
anymore.
new. I've been doing it for years, motherfucker.
Whatever. I'm just saying, like the tapered cuff at the bottom,
Right.
right? Jeans don't have that.
No.
So you have just this big of a fucking like if you buy baggy jeans, the hole is baggy where
That's
you
what
put
she
your foot
said.
through. Yes.
They do have those pants where they're like a scrunchie at the bottom. You know, like you
Yeah,
know
but
what
like
I'm talking about. I don't like those.
That's questionable.
I don't like those.
Like I'm looking at you funny if you're wearing them.
Try out some chinos. They're like pretty comfortable and like they don't feel overdressy. That's my PSA. And man clothing, us man corner advice tips.
Man did male clothing.
Yeah, I'm really trying to choose my words carefully because I don't want people to like tag us as like a man play thing now.
No.
Like, oh fuck.
No.
didn't
We don't man play.
No. Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
But I don't even gunplay, but I'll gunplay before I man play.
I mean, word up. It sounds much more fun to me.
Yes.
Gunplay. Let me specify.
Yes.
Not that there's anything wrong.
Oh,
with
now
any
we're
of
gonna
that.
get tagged for that. Holy shit! We don't do any of that.
Now we're gonna attract the gangsters too. That's fine. Bring them instead of the.
Yeah, man. I'm
instead of
sure
the
y'all
shoe
like
ones.
this podcast too. Yo, I saw that Exhibit got divorced, and he was with two people, right? And so in one picture he was like, it was just his face as a selfie, and the next picture you scroll, it's two people.
Yeah.
It's some white dude I don't know, and Dr. Dre, right?
Okay.
And then the next picture, they were turned around, and the shirt says "Straight Out of Marriage" on Exhibit. When is too early to be gloating that you're out of marriage, or
It
does it
depends.
depend on how the marriage goes,
Yeah. It depends how it ends.
how it ends and shit? That's fucked up.
Yeah, because if you take the whole "fuck that bitch" approach, then yeah, you celebrating.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm straight out of marriage. Crazy motherfucker name Exhibit.
It sounds like he left that marriage the same way Dave Chappelle left fucking Chappelle show after he impregnated Oprah. You know, my seed, son.
We're gonna get this bitch Stedman. Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. Like I don't know. I guess it does depend on how the marriage ends. But that's even crazier to think,
Well, think
that
about
like
it,
you can
like-
start in love and bliss and then just end in a whole bunch of shit.
I always wondered that until I experienced it, and I was like, huh. So that's how it goes. Like, how do you end up like, and that
Yeah.
like, when you have like the disgust.
Yeah, like what the hell did you just say to me?
That's pretty
No.
funny though. So there's like a winning and losing even in divorce, and apparently Exhibit feels that he won.
I mean, I'm sure he's probably got money like buried in fucking somewhere.
It's like Carmelo
I
Anthony,
would,
right?
allegedly.
Like Carmelo Anthony probably technically lost in his divorce, but
He's winning
it's
in
put a
life.
fire up his ass.
He's
and
definitely
playing
winning
his
his
ass
life
off
now.
right now.
I'm sure he's mad that because like it seems like women do their best to look their best after a relationship.
Yeah, but
Right,
that's Melo hooping right now. He's like, oh, I'm single now. I got to play my ass off again. There's some girls in these things.
Like the Hollywood chicks, right? Like it's like she was getting bad, like she was getting the enhancements and whatnot, right?
Right.
But like I'm sure, like she's taking it to another level after the relationship, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna make him even more mad, right? Like I could have looked this probably good back then, but like,
I
it
mean,
just seems
Lala
like that
is a
way.
bad woman.
Lala is bad, but like she's definitely got some sort of ass implants, right? That
It's-
thing wasn't that fat before.
This is what I hate about 2021 going into 2022. God knows where the fuck this is going to end.
It's a lot of enhancements.
But Jesus, I
Enhance.
don't know.
It's like in what was that movie? Enhance.
That's in Super
Enhance.
Troopers.
In Super Troopers, yeah. Enhance.
Listen, man, I learned in ATL, right? Remember when T.I.'s uncle's talking to him? He's like, he said in life, it's like, it's about feelings. He's like, I just want you to know the difference between what you feel and what's real. And that's the problem I have with ass these days.
You don't know what's real and what you feel.
Just
I think it would.
just too much.
I would think it would be in the bounce.
Yeah. I mean, usually I think the jiggle's a dead giveaway, but I don't know if that works the same way with ass as it does with.
I think it does because
Just stop
nothing's
doing
like,
things like
nothing
that.
jiggles like just real ass meat, right?
I would like to believe so, and I don't think that any woman I've ever messed with at all has had a fake ass.
Right.
But I don't know.
But I've been so listen, I've been in a relationship for 10 years. This ass thing really started popping off after I got in a relationship.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I've never really felt a fake ass before, but unless Vivi got a fake ass, but I'm pretty sure that's not true. So like I don't know. I'm just pretty sure that ass meat would shake differently than like fake ass meat.
I just feel like don't get a fake ass.
Fake
we
ass
like
meat,
real
fake
ass.
ass meat.
Like yeah. I hear what you said there.
Like I'm
It's
pretty
a double
sure.
entendre.
I'm pretty sure. Fake ass. A good analogy in my eyes probably would be, a burger and an Impossible Burger. Right? It looks like it could be a burger.
Never tried an Impossible.
No, I've
burger.
never eaten one before either. I refuse. I'd rather just
Listen,
have a
man.
burger.
Exactly.
I don't know what you put in this shit, so I'd rather just have this shit that
It's
you know. I don't know
it's
what you
the same
put
way
in.
I feel about decaffeinated coffee. Like what the fuck? Just drink something else.
Yeah,
Coffee is
so-
for caffeine.
So I need to like slow that down because I feel like I be getting the jitter sometimes. But like, yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's like the difference between something that looks. To me, it's like a Kia, right? Like the Kia Stinger GT, right? It looks cool and it is kind of fast, admittedly, but it's always gonna be a Kia Stinger.
But you can't even talk down on that car
It's fast.
because it
It
beat
me.
you.
It beat me.
Yeah.
But
So I
it's-
see why you're targeting it, but technically you can't really do that.
At least
you know?
I'm in a Charger, and to me, the Charger has heritage. Kia Stinger's been around for 3.5 years.
Yeah, but they're the official vehicle of the NBA.
Yeah, so no, the Optima was the vehicle of the NBA. I think Kia is the sponsor, the official sponsor.
Yeah. So I mean,
they
all
changed
of their
they
cars
changed their
stood under
logo
that.
to be like connected.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I don't know who I was talking to about it, but they were talking about how like they didn't know that was Kia. Like, oh, there's this new car brand. Like, what the fuck? That's Kia. You know,
Yeah, I mean, like I see what they're trying to do and put like a I don't know, like a fresh.
it's perceived.
Yeah.
Like, it's all perception, right?
well because
So
Kia
what
has
is
a
this
reputation, you know what I mean,
for
and
being a
it's-
Kia.
it's a
I'm
Kia.
not a Kia fan. There's certain brands like I
I
don't.
will say this: they do it great with their warranties and shit. Like 10-year, 100,000 miles. That's fucking amazing warranty.
but I'm pretty sure that they've got issues that won't allow it to get to 10 years more than likely.
I think it depends. I mean,
There's got to be something.
again, like even a Kia in 2021 is a 2021 vehicle. You know what I mean? Like there's only most of the things have come up enough to where even if it's and Kia does its best impression of like luxury vehicles, right? That's like pretty much what
I think it's
thing
Kia or Hyundai that does it. Hyundai probably does it better.
Yeah, better.
They
for
got
sure.
that.
But I'm saying like that's what they
G80
kind of
or
do.
some shit like.
But even that, you're still talking about like
Of course,
a modern
it's the
vehicle.
same thing. To
You know
me,
what I mean?
it's a Hyundai is a Hyundai and a Kia is always going to be a Kia. I'm sorry, but for
I
the
agree.
money, you could look it up. Look up right now how much you can like what fucking MSRP on like. There's that G80 or there's the
all these numbers are
the
skewed right now. By the way.
Telluride, the fucking what's the Hyundai one? They got the Hyundai pomegranate or some shit.
I have no
it's
idea.
not pomegranate. I'm sorry. Telluride is the Kia.
The Telluride, actually, that thing is valuable.
Yeah, it is, but it's still a fucking. And I hate the name.
Me too.
It's literally TELLURIDE.
Well, actually, they start at 36.
That's too much.
Yeah, but people.
So
really
you
like these cars.
listen. To get that car to where I want it to be, it's gonna be need $53,000 probably.
Yeah, 2022 X SUV, 42, 45.
Yeah, see, look where we're going. To get leather and all the things that you can get at debit at $50,000, I'm buying me something way different. Give me like a Jeep SRT or like a fucking Durango SRT, some along those lines.
Yeah, now they have one that's at 50. Yeah, they can get pretty expensive.
There's no way in hell I'm paying $50,000 for a fucking Kia.
Not me neither.
Hell no.
But I mean,
there's a lot of
also-
cars I wouldn't pay that much for. I think I wouldn't buy a Nissan unless it's a GTR.
Yeah,
Like,
but you're not getting for 50.
Hell no. And those things are nice, man. They're fast as hell.
Man, one time I went to the Nissan dealership and they had one on the show floor, and I was like, "Can you unlock this?" And he's like, "No."
They won't. No,
I'm like, yo.
no, I hate the fact. I was like, yo, I would like to test drive that used SRT right there. We can't let you do that. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean you
Like,
can't?
how
let
am
me
I supposed
test-
to know if I
So
like
you
it?
walk into a dealership and you're just like, yo, so what do you want me to do here? Like,
You want me to find a friend that has one? Because I don't have any friends that have that much money.
It's a more magnified version of when you used to wait in line for shoes. We were talking about waiting in line for shoes last week.
Yeah.
And when I would wait in line to go get like my 11s, you can't put them on, right? Like, I guess that's cool. But if it's your first pair of 11s ever, you don't know the 11.
This is true, but
I've talked about
I
how
have
I'm
to
11.
support
I'm
that.
between that 11 and a half and a 12.
Yeah.
I agree. You're not supposed to, but I don't like that I can't try them on.
Funky ass feet in my shoes that I'm gonna buy and spend $225.
I know, but what if I don't? What if I don't know? What if a 12 fits better than 11 and a half?
Go
and
and
I
buy
left?
something you familiar with that's less expensive.
Bitch, you
Say
know why
about
I
my
wasn't
shoe.
familiar with that. We ain't never had them motherfuckers.
Trust me, I know. I just got my first pair of 11s this year.
Regardless, whatever, man.
Trying to get my second
But
pair
you're
of
not
11s
gonna-
this year as well.
You're not gonna sit there and tell me I can't. Listen, I'll be like, listen, I really want to buy that, but you're gonna let me test drive it first. There's no fucking way you're gonna say you can only buy it as you see it.
Cars are a bit different. Cars are different. You're
Can you
also
imagine
talking
that?
about
You're like-
spending.
You're just like, all right, fine, I'll buy it without
Like,
thinking about
personally-
what it drives like.
in my opinion, and this is like I think I talked about this when we were talking about the Tesla test drive I did. But they should have, for every car that they sell, they should have a demo car and keep them on the side and use those for test drive. Hey, we sell this on the lot. You can't test drive one that we're gonna sell, but we have a demo car right here. Let's go for a ride. Like, that should always be available.
Dude, they barely have cars to sell. There's no way they can do it.
Like, I had to test drive my car that I bought. I'm like, oh, I get it, but like, you should have something. What if I don't want to? What if I don't want to buy this now? But like, somebody else comes through and like, oh, now there's, 42 miles on there instead of the 7 that it got during transport.
How many miles did your car have on it when you bought it?
When I bought it, when I got into test drive, it had 5 miles.
Oh, word.
And then I think when I finally got home, or when I went to go and pick it up because they like did a couple things, whatever, it was at like 12 miles or some shit like that.
Yeah, mine was at 12 when I bought it too.
So I was like,
And
all right.
then Dad drove it home. So we drove it. We drove like a 200 and some mile trip to go get the car.
Yeah.
And Dad drove it home. I let him instead of him driving the fucking little, for just by coincidence, Kia. It's like a little Kia hatchback.
Yeah.
Whatever, the Rio or some shit.
Yeah, it's not the fancier versions of Kias, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, man. But no,
Not to say that there are super fancy versions.
and I'm a car guy too. Like if I had the money, I'd have cars like I'd have sneakers. Actually, I wouldn't. I'd have to keep.
I
Like,
definitely have more of a
I'd
Jay
have to
Leno
keep
garage.
I'd have to keep a max amount until I was able to like.
Depends how much money I got.
Right. Unless I'm like
Everything is.
unless I'm wealthy. But if I got money and I can afford like some fun stuff,
Yeah.
my max would probably be 5 cars. I could. Yeah.
Nah,
Because it's
I'm telling
also,
you, like
you got to think about how
not everybody has Jay Leno
Burdamson-
money, but I would try to have more of a Jay Leno garage with some classics that I keep, maintained. They're in a inside garage that's temperature controlled.
But you got to, yeah.
Like,
that money for sure.
Well-
But like, you got to think about how burdensome it is to maintain mad cars, like oil changes, make sure they got gas. If you don't have a place where you can put them all, they got to have in multiple locations. You got to rotate them. You got to make sure that they go in for their servicing. You got to make sure you keep up to date with their paperwork, their registration, tires.
yes,
Like,
but also you're not driving every car that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they still.
So if you have,
but
like,
you still got to make sure that.
Let's say you have a 20 car collection,
But you got to start them. You got to start them. You got to
15 of them are classics.
You got to circulate the fluids in the
Yeah,
the
for sure,
engine.
and you can do all that. But like,
it becomes a thing, dude. It just becomes a thing.
If you have the
think
money-
about shoes, you would be like, man, don't I? Sometimes you look at your sneakers and be like, man, I wish I could wear them all.
it's about context here because you need to know. I need to know how much money I'm working with. You know what I mean? Like if I have a job where I'm like, where I've got an entrepreneurial shit popping, podcast is monetized, but hey, we're still only.
We're talking about an ideal world. I'm saying like if you can.
I'm not talking about
afford-
like already having
All right,
millions
I'm
in the
saying
bank.
if you can afford anywhere from, I guess where there's context, but I'm talking about like really nice cars, 5 cars, like a luxury, but like I've always said, like a luxury, an exotic, a muscle, an SUV, and then probably something else that I really want. But like,
I don't think that I would own too many cars that aren't like classics. The rest of them I would probably just like cycle through because
I would do Benz. Like
I don't need
have
to-
a Mercedes. Like
yeah,
probably like some sort of like 63.
I would probably have 2 or 3 that I kept that like were cycled out regularly, and then like the cars that are like real like this is classic, or I anticipate it being classic. That's the type of shit that I'll keep in the garage type of shit.
The podcast blows up, right? Let's say it blows up, but not blows up in the sense of we're millionaires, but like the podcast blows where you're able to like fund your life better,
Yeah.
right?
Like I don't have to work a job anymore.
What's the first car you think you go out and buy? Are you going to like? Are you gonna? Because you can only afford one really nice car in this scenario, right? You can't go out and pick one for each season. You need something that's you're gonna live here still. We're not moving to LA. All right, in the scenario, you got to stay here. It can be garage kept, but you got to deal with the elements. You got to make sure that you can have speed, but you can have because you want something that encompasses everything, right?
Yeah.
So where do you go? And after this segment, we'll take our break.
I'll probably go like I don't know, man. Honestly, I like if Jeep didn't change the way they were doing their fucking shit, I would go and get my Hellcat, right? But I don't think that the Hellcat for
The Hellcat's
this year
gonna
is gonna be
2023 is the last year for Hellcat engines because of like some sort of lawsuit going on.
Fuck,
I want a
man.
Hellcat before then because they're gonna go up in price crazy.
Sons of bitches. All right, well, without that, I'd probably go like Q7 maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
Q7. I would have never thought that. That's crazy. Q7.
But obviously, with the turbo in it, and like, it's gotta be.
the bi-turbo joint, the G6.
yeah.
No, actually, I'm sorry, not the bi-turbo. I got Benz in my head. You got the whatever they got the Audi. They got the RSQ or RSQ8 or something.
Whatever
like
that
that
shit is. That shit is quick as fuck.
Very fast.
It's a good car to have in different seasons that we have to face here.
I like the 7, man. The A7.
Yeah.
The A7's nice. I
But,
like a big sedan. I do like trucks too. I don't know, but the Q7 doesn't seem like where I would go for me.
As far as luxury SUV brands go, Audi has one of the nicer SUVs to me.
Right now, if I like,
Or I would do and this is the only other time I would ever say BMW. But like, what's that? They have like the X9 or whatever that shit is.
Q7. I mean the X7.
The X7 is their biggest one.
Yeah.
I was just watching a commercial the other day, and I was like, that shit's pretty fucking nice, actually. I fucks with
Fuck
it.
all that. I'm going to Lamborghini Urus. That's how you pronounce it. Urus.
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 That's the
Yeah.
Lambo truck.
The Lambo truck. That's where I'm going. That shit about 250. But man,
Because if we didn't have like this climate part to deal with and like the shit construction, I'm going probably like S550 or S600, whatever the new fucking.
No, you got to go to AMG when you go Benz, man. You can't go.
Yeah. I mean, definitely get the.
I'm going any S63,
S63 for sure.
E63.
I just want like whatever is like not the Maybach, but like is like the lesser, but luxury.
Well, see, the
big
thing
ass.
is, there's no. I think Mercedes doesn't have any more V8s until next year or something like that. They're not producing them. They got their lineup is weird right now. But
I'm so lost in the world of cars at this point. I got to go back and just watch some Top Gear to understand what's up.
I still try to keep up to date as much as possible. But no, like the Lambo truck, that's what I'm going for sure. I see one driving on my route at work.
Yeah.
A lot, man. I fucking love that shit. It's a yellow one. I wouldn't get a yellow though. I'd get that satin paint. You know how they got that satin paint color or finish that they got?
Yeah.
I fuck with that.
Yeah, I don't know. All right.
Yeah. But yo, let's take this break real quick. We'll be back.
Right. For sure. So I believe like when we were about to start talking initially that we were going to talk about Thanksgiving and like how our day has been.
Let's talk about Thanksgiving, huh?
All right. I mean, I don't know if you want to get started now or. Okay, cool. You headphone-less, so I just thought I'd question that. But yeah, so Thanksgiving was this past Thursday, obviously. For the first time in 17 years, our aunt was able to join us for Thanksgiving because she's obviously not a resident of this country most of the time.
Yeah, but no, that's
She has
not
been.
true.
Yeah.
Oh, the first time in 17 years since the last time.
Yes, because when she
First time since the last time.
because she likes to come and visit usually during the warmer months because Jordan is a warm climate place.
Motherfucker, she lived here.
Yeah, I know that, but she doesn't come and visit during the wintertime typically. That's all I'm saying.
But she lived here for like 5 years.
Yeah,
That's true.
I lived with her for a month during that time.
I remember.
Yeah, it was like Rumspringa. I think we talked about this before. Like at 14 years old, my parents are they live an hour away at this point. I'm hanging out with my people from the neighborhood because she lived like 2 blocks from us. It was a great time, man. I was out till like 2-3 in the morning regularly. She was like, I don't care how long you stay out. She's like, just be quiet when you come in.
Don't
and I'm
bug
like,
me.
hey man, you got it. But anyway, so she was here in town. She's still here, obviously.
Yeah, she just got in last week.
Yeah, she'll be here for a couple months probably. I'm assuming. But yeah, so it was just a regular fam for the most part. The immediate family plus her. We had most of the dishes that we discussed last week. Mashed potatoes.
I think we had everything on the table.
Yeah, everything was there.
You know what I realized when I got home with my leftovers?
What's that?
She ain't give me no motherfucking
Potato
stuffing.
Oh, you didn't get no stuffing. Yeah, I
got
didn't need any of that. I didn't eat it this
You
year.
don't like stuffing?
We talked about this a little bit last week. I'm okay with it, but it's not something I need.
You didn't have any of it?
Nah.
Did you have everything on the table other than that?
Yeah.
Were you racist?
Was stuffing a race?
Could be.
Do particular races really enjoy stuffing compared to other ones?
I don't know, but I loved it. I loved it.
Okay, well, I don't think that has anything to do with racism.
All right, probably not.
It
was good, though.
I'm pretty all inclusive.
It was good. It was good. I enjoyed Thanksgiving a lot. I had like it was funny. Like people would be like, "You and Vivi don't spend Thanksgiving together." We don't.
That's true, but when I got to their house, I was like, I don't know what Sam and Vivi gonna start doing. One day they're gonna be married and they're gonna have to figure this out.
No, we don't.
Is he gonna be married and still continue to be at separate?
Yeah,
venues
why not?
Well, because that's typically not how life works.
Yo, fuck the way typically.
I mean, all right,
I hate the way that dude. That's my least favorite thing in this planet.
but you should spend.
Well, typically, you don't. That doesn't normally happen. Well, fuck typically,
Well, I
because
mean-
typically, motherfuckers work till they die.
But typically, once you become like husband and wife, then you are a family. So
I think
you
this,
then share
this
your.
assumption that you have to be like tied to each other's fucking,
I mean, at least on holidays, most people would probably
So
assume
look,
that would be the case.
the reason it goes like this, right? And maybe at some point when I have a home that is large enough to fit everybody in it, I would then invite the families, right? Mm-hmm. I'd invite the 2 families,
But so as things stand right now, y'all are like, nah, we don't need to be together these holidays.
As it goes right now, we have no.
I mean, listen, whatever,
As you say, large enough space.
Even Pop was like, yeah, once he's married, he's gonna have to have Thanksgiving with her. He's like, we'll never see him again.
Y'all motherfuckers must be crazy. You must be crazy. That would have already happened. That would have already happened. So this is the reason me and Vivi end up spending Thanksgiving usually apart is because she has to go to her mom's house and her dad's house, right? Mm-hmm. So there's like that split up. Sometimes I do meet her after.
So she's already stretched thin.
Yeah, so she's going back and forth. And I ain't missing mom's Thanksgiving. Like, I'll be damned. Like, it just ain't happening. She knows that, and that's just the way it works. I won't miss Thanksgiving with the family. Like, because that's a fun holiday for us. We just hang out,
Yeah. I think the Bears got the win.
Yeah, and I don't even care about that. But, like, yeah, so that's why. Like, and I don't see those situations changing. So when if we were to get married, like tomorrow, it wouldn't change because that's just the way it has to work until we can have them all underneath one roof.
I'm not married, so I'm not going to comment on this. But I think a lot of married people would tell you, if that's what your anticipation is, you're wrong.
Why? Are you talking about people or dudes? Like married dudes? Like you said, married people.
Oh yeah. Like probably married dudes would tell you that as well.
That they pussified?
That like once they got that thing, then like the woman now all of a sudden is a little bit different than she was prior.
They become pussified and shit. Like, come on, man.
I would think it would be the opposite, but like whatever.
Get the fuck out of here. Look it. No, that's it. I don't like that shit. Like, yo, motherfuckers act like they get their fucking balls cut off.
Yeah.
Like me and Vivi be together a lot, and we just know that on that holiday, that's how it goes. I don't like how motherfuckers act like they can't go on trips without their girls and shit, or their wives. I don't see the difference if you trust each other and love each other between wife and girlfriend in terms of if you can go somewhere. Please.
I don't see it either.
Please,
but also, I am not, nor do I intend on being a married individual.
That's true. I get it, but you gotta see. The thing is, you gotta like in your relationship, things have to be established. Like you gotta say things like, "This is how this works for me, and this is how this works for you." Blah blah.
Communication.
Blah. I'm not to say that we wouldn't want to spend Thanksgiving together. I would like for her to be with me, and vice versa, right? But knowing that there's 3 places to be, and I spend all day at one. Right, I'm not here to go.
It's true.
I just don't do that. Like, I'm not gonna.
It's a lot of back and forth. I've done it.
I look at the best thing is,
and then you always have somebody who's like mad about it.
Yeah, man, fuck all that. To make that to get to that point means that there's something that's not been established within that aspect of the relationship. In my opinion, the best part is that for Christmas, and we've probably spoken somewhat about this. Spanish people. I guess. All celebrate Christmas the night before Christmas, right? It's like the movie. It's the night before Christmas, and all through the house, there's no more presents to open because we did that before, right? Like that's the way it works. Like I don't understand Christmas morning. You get what I'm saying? So I spend Christmas Eve with her and her family, right? Which is cool. Worst part is, to be honest with you, it's like they don't open them till midnight.
Oh, so you got to stay up and like
yeah,
like I've had a hard time staying up to midnight for the ball dropping the last few years.
No, I can stay up till midnight if I'm stimulated how I'd like to be, right? Like, if I'm out with some friends and we're out hanging out, or if I'm actually at home being stimulated, right? But
or if you're like literally stimulating me, then I can.
But to sit there and just wait for kids to open a fucking gift, I'd just be like. Maybe just like you falling asleep. I'm like, yes, because there's not a gift in sight for me, and I don't care about this. But it's okay because I get to spend time with her and her family.
Yeah.
Then the next morning, she's a little greedy with it. We go to her mom's They go exchange gifts. I'm like, cool, whatever. We get to your house or mom's house about 11. That's where my Christmas day ends. We're there from 11 till 8 or 9, 10 o'clock or whatever it is because the family gets tired, right? But here's my beef with you can't open gifts the night before. You can open one gift.
That used to be what we would try to get out of them anyways.
If me and Vivi have kids, it's going to be that we open on Christmas morning. I don't care what Vivi's silly tradition is.
We're not doing that stupid shit. Your kid's gonna open up first thing in the morning Christmas Day.
I want you to.
I'll just watch an episode of Family Matters.
I want you to beg and plead for the whole evening, Christmas night. Can I open one gift? And then right before you go to bed, you can open one. Right?
Yeah.
That would see. There's only a few reasons why I think having a kid would be funny or fun.
I would send him on a wild goose chase looking for the present. Like it's not under the tree.
It's not under the tree.
You gotta
It's
find
under
it.
a tree.
You gotta use context clues and try to figure it.
I put them under a tree. You've got a time clock because somebody's gonna find them. So where you have
like, man, the sun has been up for about an hour now.
No,
I would get going.
one gift, right? One gift. And since it's probably, if we were to have kids, it would be spent at her family's, right? That's cool. Open the gifts they give you. You ain't opening my gifts, motherfucker. You're gonna wait till I decide. Just like, remember, Pops wouldn't even wake up. But Pop, to be fair, Pop, it's not his culture, right? So he had to adjust. But Pops wouldn't wake up for many years.
He's not including himself this year.
No, he's not. He's mad at us, dude. His beef. That's another whole funny thing. But I'm not. I would want them to be like begging and pleading, like we were. Like we broke trees trying to find shit out. Yo. But that's just the way it should be.
Man,
I don't think
found their hiding spots a couple times.
The willpower it takes.
Have you ever looked for the gifts, found them, and then was like,
very depleted.
I feel kind of bad that I'm looking for these gifts. So now I'm not going to look and see what actually is there. I just know where they are.
So I kind of knew when I got my Sega, and I knew when I got my PlayStation because they ran in the house, but I saw it. Like I'm like, why are you doing this? Mom is goofy like that. But I remember, man, those were like some of my favorite Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
Sega. When I got Sega, son, we got that adventure.
Sega.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, man, for sure. We gotta spend a lot of time on that system.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think you should. The willpower it takes.
I almost beat Mortal Kombat and Mom accidentally unplugged. I don't know why she unplugged.
Yeah, there's no memory card.
Like, excuse me, what did you just do?
Remember that thing I sent to the
fighting the guy who can morph into anybody. I was just almost at the end.
the group chat. Remember I sent the one where it was like they gave the memory cards.
Yeah.
But they only had like 28 megabytes. Files had to be mad small.
But they weren't. The graphics weren't.
No,
they didn't take up that
wasn't
much
too
memory
crazy.
at the time.
But no, man, I think the willpower and the discipline it takes a kid to like learn how to deal with the Christmas night. Like, oh my God, what am I gonna get? I find it appalling almost.
I think it's also important to have a 2-story house at that point.
Oh, they got to run down the stairs.
No, they got to also like look at the. Remember, we used to be at the top of the stairs, just looking down.
Yeah, I do remember that. No, I think it's important. It's very important.
I was just watching an episode.
I find
of
it
Family
appalling
Matters
that somebody would celebrate on the night before.
where Steve Urkel, for whatever reason, was sleeping at their house, right? And it's like 5 a.m. and he's like, "It's Christmas!" And he starts making noise all throughout the whole entire, like waking everybody up with pots and pans and shit. And then they, of course, wanted to kill him, but there was also the kids
TV Christmas and movie Christmases are all way nicer than.
They're all a lot different than in real life.
Like, look at all those presents. You look at your tree,
like
we got 4.
We usually get to the house before Pops is up, right? So we'll like get down there, Mom will be down there, we'll make some coffee, sit there talking relatively quietly until he comes down. And then we like get to the point where like, all right, let's go get his ass. Like he needs to get up, it's time. But it's funny how that changed because it used to be like 7 a.m.
Yeah,
people are
that
up,
was because remember because Daniel was the younger one. So like for a while, even 5 years ago, even it was like, oh, let's wake up early and I remember those. Those are days that obviously I'm sure like as a parent you start to miss. And
for sure.
I can get why there's emotional stigma of moms because they're always seeing their kids as the kid they were when they were younger, not who they are right now. But like, do I look like that young motherfucker to you right now?
Like I ain't been that nice since.
Like what the fuck?
Yeah, but overall, it was a good Thanksgiving. Low key, we ate relatively early, like 2:00. We were sitting down eating. I don't know. It was a cool, low key kind of day. I felt bad that this guy couldn't bring him with, but parents just got new carpet in the house. Whatever. So like
that shit is plush, man.
It's pretty nice.
I would fall asleep on that carpet. That's how plush it is. It's
pretty
like,
nice.
It's like what you guys got basically.
Yeah,
essentially.
it's pretty plush over here too. Yeah,
that shit. I stepped out. I was like, wow.
But it's funny, man. When you change the floor or when you change the color of the walls,
it does.
Just changes the entire like room. Whatever.
It's a nice way to introduce what I'm doing at my house right now.
Yeah. Well, what you tell the people?
Well, I think I told them like I was talking about how I did the work on the living room. Right?
I don't know if you were specific though.
Yeah, I think because remember we talked about how we painted at our parents' house, and then the next week I painted the living room. So I've been sick for a couple of weeks. I had this little congestion and shit, like which is it still won't go away. It's like still lingering. So I'm gonna actually go check that out this week, I think. But
it's probably important.
Yeah, it's just a lingering congested cough or whatever. But I think a lot of people have that right now.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that comes with the season change and
Yeah, I don't know. And then I guess I work outside, and it's kind of hard to get rid of things like that when the cold's constantly hitting you.
It's true. It's true. You got to make sure your head is warm.
Yeah, no, 100%. So, where was I? Oh, so I this week or yesterday I started doing the kitchen now, right? So I'm painting the cabinets white and I'm painting the trim white.
Yeah.
Just kind of going with the whole white and like gray scheme throughout the whole house.
Okay.
And it's starting to look nice, but man, fucking, it's a process. But it does you're right. Once the colors start changing and you start seeing the
Everything just looks
little
fresh.
details,
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Brightens everything up, like a fresh coat of paint. Even when you put a darker color up, it just feels fresher,
Yeah, it does. Paint.
We can still smell the paint a little bit. Like
and not that paint, and like it just reminds you that it's been freshly, messed with. Yeah, the cabinets were brown, like not brown, but like natural wood, but like I don't know how old they were.
Yeah.
But we moved in the downstairs apartment that we rent out. It's like a white and gray scheme, and we just been kind of like dealing with the natural wood. I kind of liked it, but at a certain point I'm just like I would like to change it. And she was like same thing, so I brought it up, and that was a mistake. And then we got back. Now I'm doing it, but we're almost finished. We're almost finished now.
But in all
Home
fairness,
stretch, baby.
Usually in these situations, it's the woman who's like, "Oh yeah, it'd be nice," and then you end up doing the work. Well, at least you brought it up and ended up doing the work.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm only saying that based on what I see, like in my parents' household, for instance. My mom's be like, "Oh yeah, that would look really nice," and then
Pop's like, "Fuck."
He's like, "How much it's gonna cost me?"
All right, let's do that then.
It's pretty funny, but but how much more do you have to do? What else do you plan on?
After I get out of here, I'm gonna go home and do it. Hopefully, I finish the room I'm doing right now. If not tonight, tomorrow.
You're painting the entire house?
Well, we did the living room. We're not gonna do the bedroom because it's just too. I don't feel like doing it, man. I don't mind the way the room looks for the bedroom, but we did the kitchen. The back room doesn't need that. Her room, I did that last year, and then no. So I just have one little section I got to do after that, probably next week, and that's it.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's what's up.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I find that you have to ride the motivation to do home improvement train all the way to the last stop, because otherwise,
but sometimes that last stop
I don't want to do that shit
in an incomplete project.
It's in perpetuity, if you will. Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's utterly ridiculous.
I hate doing things around the house, but I also know it's necessary. So I figure one room at a time is the approach. And to be honest with you, like I started this room, I painted this wall, I painted my closet. I did some organization, but
you did 15% of what you needed to do.
Yeah, nothing's ever really 100% complete. I don't know. It says Kiona and Kasson on there. I don't know if y'all can tell on the camera, but I know we had it here at one point.
I don't think they can see that. It says Kiona and Kasson probably through the camera.
Probably not. That's why I just wanted to let y'all know. It's not just
we don't just have a
random
glass of sand.
But it's Arab custom. You see those camels on there?
Yeah,
it's a desert
palm
background
trees and shit, mountains. It's like a desert vista.
It's like what do you call it when you're like seeing things? A mirage.
Hallucinating?
Yeah, when you're seeing things and you're in the desert situation.
Drop acid or something.
It's a mirage.
It's a fucking mirage, man. So I was going to talk about the Bulls, right? Because the Bulls are doing pretty damn good, man.
They are.
And so I boycotted them. I always like to say that. And I haven't boycotted them this year. The issue is I can't watch it. I don't have cable. I don't have the ability to watch a game, so I have to watch highlights. I have to just read about it.
The game was on yesterday. I was able to watch it, but by the time it started, I was I had a really lazy day yesterday, and I was just pretty much ready to not do anything. So when that game started, I think it was it might have started at 7, but I was like, if I get into it, I ain't gonna finish it. So I didn't even bother. I was watching who was playing prior to that? LA and somebody. Anyways.
Oh, look at that. Great podcast. So great story. No, Caruso is kind of nice, man. I got to give it to him. I guess maybe I hated on him. Part of my hate for him was he was a Laker.
Yeah.
Right? Naturally, I just didn't want to like dude. But I think you can always recognize like hey, he's pretty fucking athletic. I guess there's a
He
problem.
just doesn't look.
So
like
here's
he can
here's
hoop.
the issue. Here's the I think where the deep rooted issue lies. And I'm gonna get deep, y'all. Just bear with me.
That's what you
Part of the reason that we, even though recognized he was fairly athletic, didn't want to like him, it's because he's like that athletic white guy.
Yeah, he looks like the guy who doesn't belong in the park.
Well,
but,
after he shaved cut his hair down and put the headband on, he looks different.
yeah, but now
Before it was just like that guy looks like the rec league guy that just tears through the league, and you just don't understand how.
but regardless which outward look you got from him, he doesn't look like he belongs on the basketball court. Like he does not look like that to me now as a bald-headed headband wearing little white guy.
But he still he throws that motherfucker
No,
down. Though.
he does. He can play. I'm just saying, aesthetically, he doesn't look like what you would imagine a hooper to look like. You know,
I think you're right, and I guess there's a way that hoopers maybe walk. I was once told like some guy he's like, "Do I know you?" I'm like, I don't know. Like
your walk looks familiar,
right? But like I guess he's like, "Do you hoop at YMCA or something like this?" Back in high school, like, and I used to play basketball every day, like that was life. Regardless of how good I was back
ball
then,
is life.
It was I still played,
even
right?
though we don't play daily. It's still life.
Yeah. But he's like, "Oh, you walk like a hooper or something like that," and I was like. Okay, that's pretty cool. You're looking at my
Check
walk.
out my swag. Yo, I walk like a ball player.
Yeah, but I did remember I did see him at the YMCA after, and we did hoop together. But like, but I didn't know him before then. Like after you see something like I worked at Sears. He was the security guard. Like it was weird. Anyway,
Grizzly Adams did have a beard.
but the Bulls are doing fucking phenomenal, man. I like it.
But I say all that to say,
No, they are.
yeah, no, they're doing good. But they also dropped the game against Houston the other day that they shouldn't
drop
have.
a few games.
No,
There's woes.
no. Houston is first of all they have one win besides that one,
Sometimes.
and their best player went down in the first quarter, and they still lost to him.
Were they in Houston?
I don't know.
If they were in Houston, we already know why.
No,
They were at the strip clubs. They were partying and shit.
Yeah, I mean
They're a
don't get me
young
wrong.
team. They're a young team.
But it's
If they're in Houston,
but
that's
they're not
exactly
that
why.
young of a team.
No, they are. They're young.
Not everybody on that team is young.
We finally got young and athletic. It
just
took
saying.
us fucking 12 years from that stupid statement, but we
Regardless,
finally got young and athletic.
Those are the games that you're supposed to win. You are
True.
an
You're
elite
right,
level
you're not
talent
wrong.
right now.
You're not wrong, but I still
Then they came back and then they beat Orlando by 30 points.
Right,
But
exactly.
why are you dropping Houston? They were the talent level is
Sometimes
very
sometimes
similar.
it doesn't click. Sometimes it doesn't.
Nah, fuck that.
There's still a new.
It has
it's
to click.
still a
If you want to be
new-
a contender, if you want to look like you're going to do some damage, and given this is their first season together, so
That's
early
what
in
I'm
the season,
saying.
whatever, it
They're-
doesn't matter because they're already looking like
they're
a whole.
already looking like a better team.
Mhm.
I can see how sometimes teams take a day off.
Nah,
Sometimes
fuck
you
that.
look if Houston is a team that you look like sometimes you play down to the competition.
It's too early in the season, man.
What I'm saying is sometimes you play down to the competition.
Yeah, we talked about that before.
It's
That's
a
that's
thing.
the Bulls of old. Shouldn't be that right now.
It's not. I'm not talking about only Bulls. People in general.
That's fine.
Sometimes you play down. You're like, oh, I can relax a little bit. You take your foot off the pedal, and next thing you know, you're behind.
I get it.
and you can't get ahead.
Don't
That's
do
what
that.
happens.
Is all I'm saying.
Obviously,
It's too early in the season for
obviously
that type of shit.
don't do that. But
win the games that you're supposed
what
to
they're
win.
doing is that. Like that's what happens as a younger team.
But listen,
When I say young, it's not only in the age of in the terms of their age.
mental state.
I'm talking
right.
about young in terms of them as a collective.
Yeah, they again, yes. This is their first
You
season
know what I mean?
together.
So
I get it.
sometimes they falter. Sometimes they're like, it should have been this guy taking over, but he didn't because maybe DeMar didn't want to play well that night, or he wasn't feeling well.
There was arguably no good player in Houston at that night.
Can we talk about DeMar DeRozan though? Motherfucker's nice, man.
Yeah.
Like I knew he was always nice, and I guess because you don't watch his games because you're not, whatever region he played in, you can barely watch the fucking Bulls games, So
It's because you were too busy hating Kyle Lowry at the time that you couldn't really focus on
I
DeMar.
still hate Kyle Lowry. Some of my nicest cards have been Kyle Lowry. Like, bitch.
Yeah, it's always disappointing when like, oh man, it's really nice. Oh,
I opened that fucking Prism box today, man. For those of you who collect sports cards, we do have more people, so maybe some of these foot lovers love basketball cards too.
well, I'll accept one of those boxes for my birthday as well.
Oh yeah, man.
It's coming.
So I opened up that Prism Mega, and man, I got fooled, right? So yesterday I opened fucking Illusions, and that was pretty cool. I was like, all right, I'm good for a while. But then I was like, I woke up, and yesterday I told myself I deserved it because I was painting so much. I woke up and I was
because you're worth it. That's why you should do it.
people like me. No, I turned on YouTube this morning. I was watching a card rip, and I was like, oh, it's Prism. Oh man,
And then you were motivated.
yo, they put the first card was a LaMelo. I was like, oh, you know what? Fuck it. Ripped it open. That was a disappointment.
Yeah, but I will say this: at least you've ripped multiple boxes in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I'm still.
Well, you got to be consistent going to these fucking Walgreens.
Yeah.
I don't really go to any other store. I just go to Walgreens because Walgreens typically has what you want. But I'm telling you, if you want like cards, you can go to Meijer, and Meijer has a whole slew of things because they're blasters that are a little bit more. You can buy.
But see, that's why I'll fuck with Walgreens because they have
haven't
kept
raised
their
the price.
prices
They've kept
normal.
the price the
Everybody
same.
else is like fucking double and shit. Fuck out of
Well,
here.
everything is doubled in price. The whole world is expensive nowadays.
Listen, you don't need a chip to put into a box of cards the same way that you need it to put into a car.
I know.
So,
but if you're a business,
gas prices are up. Motherfucker, everything
you're gonna-
falls on
so
my
are you
shoulders
gonna
as a consumer.
You're going to
Come on,
charge
now.
as a detailer what you used to charge 2 years ago, 10 years from now?
I'm just saying this trickle down.
Inflation isn't thing.
I'm saying trickle down economics is some bullshit. Is all I'm saying.
What's bullshit
Because
is
it
that
all
they don't teach
lands
us how
on
to,
our shoulders
Yeah.
for shoulder to load of all these other
and then
businesses.
they teach us that that's what our job is, to pay taxes so that they can do these things. No, it's bullshit. You got to be a fucking financial, fucking independent motherfucker. Now we're not a financial, motivational podcast. Maybe we need to create one. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Hell yes. But
Get out there and get that girl.
But
You're
yo-
going to get that car. You know?
by far.
You want to be a star? All you need is a Pyrex jar, some soldiers, and some baking soda. You can buy that car.
He said it. No, so the Bulls were doing well, good. But man, like, I just keep looking at the fact that in terms of the league, like LeBron, do you think LeBron is going to win a championship this year? Wait, fuck that. Fuck all that, actually.
Oh, that's what I was watching yesterday. Brooklyn.
Oh, I saw that they booed
They
Harden.
were playing Phoenix.
They booed Harden while he was on it, with his like 7th turnover. It was like such a like lackluster thing too. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
fuck did he just do?
I don't know, man.
No,
It wasn't as good of a game as I anticipated it at first, to be honest.
I think the Nets are underachieving because Kyrie's a dick. Like, listen, Kyrie is a good human being. You could tell he is, like, based off what he does outside of basketball. But when it comes to some basketball-related decisions, he's a dick. I wouldn't want him on my fucking team.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he also takes the stance of basketball is important, but there's a lot of other important things.
There
happening.
are, but you're like,
I get it.
you are a teammate,
Yeah.
not a team yourself, dick. Like, he's just not. He's not by himself. He's not
No.
He's not by himself on that court.
Yeah.
So he needs to understand that, like, you're making decisions that are impacting other
chose
people's
a-
decisions.
You
that
chose a
they
sport
made
in which you play with
weighing
multiple
what- yeah.
people on there, not just yourself.
He's something
This is
else.
not golf.
So he's got, like, I honestly think he's probably a really good individual outside of it, but basketball related decisions can be questionable, and I don't think
But it's a lot of people now.
I wouldn't want him on my fucking team. I tell you that much.
Yeah.
So, but they
another
are
distraction
underachieving
out there.
I will say that my prediction for probably who's going to win the championship, if things go well for them, is probably going to pan out. Who did I predict? Who did I say that if they were healthy?
Oh, Golden State.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I mean, it's looking like they're going to win. Think about it. Clay is coming. Clay wants to play. They saw or they showed a video of him after the game the other day. He was on the bench. They had cleared. Most of the stadium was empty, and he was just sitting there like he just wanted. Like you could tell, he wanted to play, man. Like he's
Got the
ready.
Yeah.
He said he wants to win a championship more than ever. I think it's because of that being left off the 75 list. You know,
Probably, but I mean, there's a lot of people who have played ball in the last 70 years. So what you
You gotta say, I don't know that he necessarily deserved to be on it, but I wouldn't have been mad if Clay was on there. You know what I mean? he is a fucking phenomenal fucking player.
Yeah.
And his accolades it's not like he's been.
He's the Robin in his story.
You know
the
what?
problem.
Yeah, he is, and that's why we're gonna stop talking about that completely and go talk about the other fucking Robin who's just losing his goddamn mind in Scottie Pippen. What the fuck is this man talking about? He said Michael Jordan ruined basketball. He said he's just as good as MJ. Yeah, he's been going a little nuts. Like if you're not,
I'll say yes.
So
MJ kind of fucked the game up.
So to introduce this topic, right? Scottie Pippen is releasing a book. I forget what it's called. I almost want to get it just to read it, but I don't want to be poisoned by his little fucking his that literature that's in there.
Yeah,
he got a book, or he wrote a book, and
he's on a press run right now.
He's on a press run because he's also got a tequila coming out, which is hilarious. It's Scottie Pippen. What? I don't get that. Like,
I don't know.
Tequila? I would have never associated him. I would have been like, oh, he put out a brand of basketballs or something.
I would have thought he put out some butter since he had like his old like farm style life back in the day. That like, hey, I put out a Scottie Pippen butter.
Like he churns butter?
Maybe, I don't know. Scottie
He's
Pippen's
not
own.
Amish.
Scottie's own.
I would have never went there. But anyway, so he's got a rollout. He's now also, to be fair, also he's gone through a few things this last few years. He lost his son.
Yeah.
And his wife,
his estranged wife,
his ex-wife or whatever she is, has
person as well.
had some sort of relations allegedly with some sort of rappers and stuff. I'm not gonna get into names because I don't know them.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna
hanging out with the the Kardashians of the world and doing some Kardashian-esque things.
So he's had to deal with this type of stuff. Now, The Last Dance came out last year. He didn't think that it shed a favorable light on him necessarily, but at the same time, I think it gave him his just due. The problem is he said that he's mad that Michael turned it into basically a documentary, basically talking only about him. It was like the MJ doc, essentially.
But it was. The Last Dance is about...
So the problem with this is that the footage was shot then. It's not like they shot the footage.
Right.
You can't go back and shoot based on what your idea is now.
True.
So the footage was shot then. It was shot in the way it was shot.
And of course, we already all knew that like the main story was potentially MJ's last season.
MJ's the catalyst to all of that thing. In 1984, he came in, and obviously it took him some time, but they didn't win right after Scottie came either, right? So Scottie was in 87, I think, maybe 87, 88. They didn't win until 91.
Yeah.
So Scottie wasn't he was a big piece, but they didn't win right after he came here anyway.
Yeah.
So he's really mad that MJ made a documentary. Essentially, he feels glorifying only him, shedding bad lights on him. We know about the headache game. We know about you refusing to go in because they gave Tony the last shot. We know about all this. There's a lot of, but he did a lot of great, and they talked about that. But it was an objective point of view, I believe. I don't get why he's going out there right now to.
Again, he's trying to sell his book.
It's a rollout. It's a rollout.
Is my thing.
It's annoying to see though because you're
I've heard
Scottie, what the fuck is your?
I've heard Scottie take the different sides of the fence multiple times.
When it comes, yeah, for sure.
He's flip-flopped a lot.
It's almost like he forgets what he's said before.
Like the thing with him, he would come to the defense of MJ
a lot
in like the face of somebody else saying, "Oh well, he's not the greatest." La da da.
He's also said the other thing though. He's also said that LeBron is the greatest of all time or something like that, or one of the greatest.
So nothing is consistent about Scottie Pippen right now. Like obviously, man's got a lot going on. Fine. When you have a lot going on, you typically take a step back. So I really believe that
he went hard. He went balls to the wall.
I really just believe that everything that's happening in the realm of Scottie Pippen right now is all about let's get this book out. What's in that tequila that you selling, boy? Let me get some of that. Sound like you on some.
Scottie tripping. Scottie is tripping right now.
Yeah,
and I don't know. I don't know exactly how that changes. Hopefully, this could be mended. But there's reporters saying who know, like Mike and him, that Mike probably never talked to dude again. You know how he is. He's got a vendetta. He's gonna challenge Scottie to a one-on-one.
He's like, listen, I'll still take you today.
Probably would. Yeah. I would pay to see that. Like all these stupid ass celebrity boxing. No, I would pay to see Mike and MJ go one-on-one.
Mike and MJ is the same guy.
Not Mike and Scottie. Mike and Scottie to go 1-on-1.
23 versus 33. Let's go.
That would be fucking hilarious to watch. 100%.
I mean, they've faced up on the court after the.
No. I want to see. I want to see after this. I want to see him. Like Mike's gonna train from. He's gonna dunk on him from the free throw line, but he's gonna hurt himself. It's gonna be the last time he ever.
I remember before he hit 50, he was like getting into really good shape, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's getting into basketball shape."
Every time Michael Jordan went to the gym, they were like, "Come back." He's like, "No, I'm going to do some swimming."
He's like, "No, I'm old. My bones hurt now.
Right.
I'm gonna get some calisthenics in or some shit."
But there was a time where, because he came back twice.
Yeah.
There was a time where every time you heard that Mike was playing with some players, or he ended up being at the gym hooping just a little bit, that MJ's coming back. Like because. Especially after the first time.
Because who wouldn't want that?
Once he came back in that 95-96 or 94-95 season at the end, once he came back and like that was the unthinkable. We were like, oh, we lost MJ, and then it says I'm back. And since then, like he retired in 98.
Yeah.
You were like, oh shit. He came back I think in 2000 or 2001. I forget which one. 2001 season.
Something like that.
But there was multiple years. You would hear him doing something. Oh, MJ's coming back off.
And then you
the
heard
whole
he was
league,
coming
the whole
back.
league's butthole had to probably go like that because like they're like, shit, he's coming back. We can't win again.
And then he joined Washington. And you're like, why did you do that?
that was. But that's because Reinsdorf and Krause were still there.
Yeah, I mean I get it, but also like Washington. But he was still averaging 24 points a game.
Oh, MJ as a 38-year-old and fucking 40-year-old was fucking pretty
he was
damn
in his
good.
he I think it was done
Played
like
at 40,
41
yeah.
or 42.
I think he
or
scored
like
the
that.
most at 40 years old than anybody else, like 50
Which you
some
would
points.
expect to be a Michael
He put
Jordan
up
stat.
50 or something like that.
Yeah.
Fucking nice with it, man.
Yeah, for sure. You'd always expect that to be MJ stat. Like he's the oldest one or the first one of this age to ever do this. Like, yeah, that makes sense.
That was me.
Not something you would question. You
No,
know?
not at all.
All right, we did have a couple other things we wanted to get to real fast. I know you brought up Rolling Loud, LA, changing some rules.
Yeah. So obviously, if you're not, from underneath a rock or under the sea,
Yep.
that that Travis Scott had that Astroworld incident where there
Things
were
didn't really go so well.
9 lives were lost tragically.
Yes.
Rest in peace to all those folks again.
Absolutely.
And it's obviously had quite a stir of and wave of
like anything else,
consequences.
One big bang to kind of set off a difference in the rest of the industry.
It's a domino essentially that happened, but now there's obviously lots of lawsuits happening and there's a lot of things going on. Now that would obviously prompt a lot of people who are performing to be a little bit more attentive.
Yeah.
So I've seen like people from different bands saying stopping shows like nobody's gonna get hurt on my watch. You guys got to move the fuck back. I'll stop the show. But even further than that, you would expect venues or
festivals in general.
that and places and the companies that put these festivals on to change their policy.
Yeah, they're gonna start being more preventative and making sure that they have safeguards so that shit like that doesn't happen.
Right.
Which is hard to do because you're still dealing with people, but to the best of your ability. I mean, I'm sure like fucking metal detectors, or whatever. Like certain things are just not allowed in here. Just whatever that tightening in security can be,
But one of my biggest beefs though was
having fucking kids in these
right,
places.
like the fact that there's 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old, 9-year-olds. The 9-year-old the 9-year-old was the last to just pass away a while back.
It's just poor decision making on the parent part. Like, why are you bringing this kid here?
Yeah,
he has no business
I know
here.
you may be the greatest parent, but that idea of bringing them to a festival just because they're a fan,
Yeah.
you got to
Like
know.
there are concerts and shit like that in venues that are suitable for that kind of age
I wouldn't even want to go to a festival, man. It sounds like a terrible time, man.
Yeah.
It sounds like fucking trash.
Yeah.
So, but I'm sure there's a lot of people that like it. But what goes on there is crazy, man. Motherfuckers be on drugs, drunk, dehydrated, going fucking crazy.
Yep.
And now you got your kid here with all the people. And I mean, beyond what might happen, in the anomaly of a crazy ass crowd of basically stampeding people, there's a lot of things they can be exposed to. I think 9-year-old is too young. I think 12-year-old, maybe 15, 16 you can come.
Yeah.
But Rolling Loud did what?
So now they have made a minimum age rule to enter the facility. Like anything else, when you're considered an adult at 18 years old for the most part, except for like, smoking cigarettes or drinking alcohol, because it's only 2 exceptions, you can't get into Rolling Loud unless you're 18. So that's a very smart safeguard to take.
100%. I think that was probably the better choice for them to go ahead and make sure that, as an 18-year-old, you can make the decision. I would assume that you're signing waivers when you go to these places. Obviously, in a situation where there's a stampede, that's not necessarily what you're worried about. But I think I've been to concerts where, like, I've been to a Jeezy, Lil Wayne, and T.I. concert, right?
It's pretty pretty good concert, but it's also dangerous concert.
This is like 04, maybe 05, possibly 06, but probably right around
like in the peak of most of their success.
Yeah, right when it was really getting crazy, and we were at a standing room.
I feel like Wayne is a weird addition to that, only because you got two Atlanta rappers, and then
it was but I only saw Wayne perform because I left because. But dude, the crowd would start, like, once it started getting crazy, the crowd started like closing in on each other. So you felt like you weren't even standing on ground. You're at the mercy of the crowd and shit.
Yeah.
And that was like, wow, this is fucking nuts. And like it just started. You start to see shit going on in the crowd. You're like, all right,
time to get the fuck out of here.
If you are, at any type of person that's got their head on a swivel and alert to those type of things, like if you know type of thing.
Yeah.
If you're in that position, you're gonna be like, all right.
And Chicago isn't, the most anti-violence city in the world. So
I remember I was with Mike and his wife, right?
Yeah.
And we were his then girlfriend, obviously, and they we ended up like they moved first. I was like, I'm gonna chill for a second. I want to just kind of and I took me 5-10 minutes. I was like, all right, I'm going back to, like, I'm just not going to deal with this.
Yeah.
So we went to the back, and as things started to progress a little further, we just said, fuck it.
Yeah.
And we just got out of there. But, you got to be careful in these shows. Even for a grown person, it's difficult.
I was going to say, right? And any show pretty much has that threat. Like, if you go and watch a freaking whatever the weird shit is where they do mosh pits and shit, like, that's stupid to me, but that shit happens, and adults are there. And there used to be a time, I don't know if it's still, I don't really pay attention to shows anymore, but like especially the smaller Chicago venues, right? They'd be like, oh, adults only, 18 and only shows. Like you don't want to go to shows that aren't that because it's just they're just weird vibes.
You don't want a kid at the fucking show, man.
Like same way you don't let a kid into a bar.
Yeah.
Why do you want this kid?
I always feel like it's weird when people because there's these bars that are like they're brunch spots now, so you can bring a kid in. I always feel like it's weird when a kid's in there. Like like what the fuck are you doing here? Well, I remember
shit that we were never exposed to as kids.
Max had a birthday party once at this bar that also allows children to come in. Right, we were in the back room.
Yeah,
and it was where we were like. We had it like not roped off, but that was our section. Mm-hmm. And this family walked in with their two kids, and everybody's like almost like the record skip. Everybody's like, "What the fuck?" And I saw Max from across the room. He's like, "What the fuck?" So he goes, and they came and got him like, "You gotta go. The kids can be in there, but they couldn't be where we were at. Like,
right,
I'm partying with these fucking kids.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, like, if you have kids. But now you have to find a babysitter.
Yeah, man. Don't bring them over here.
There's certain things that come along with it. You can't just bring them everywhere.
No, you just can't. I don't care.
Especially if you want them to live.
Either that or you got to stay home and live that life.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Which, I mean, I am a stay-at-home type of person as it is.
Yeah.
But I'm also a not have a kids type of person. So, but all right. And then I just wanted to talk about how stupid it was because I saw this random story pop up and, Summer Walker is now fucking some new guy. But apparently, she must be fucking balls deep in love because she put his name on her forehead.
Did he put her name on his?
I don't know. I didn't.
I think they may. I think I may have seen the story where they both did it.
But what the fuck kind of dumbass shit?
I'm firm believer in like you don't get. Those.
I wouldn't put my name on my forehead.
No, I wouldn't put.
And I love me.
Yeah.
All right.
Vivi gets mad at me sometimes. She's like, "You won't you won't tattoo my name or something on you?" I was like, "No, never." We had an uncle that did it. We've seen it. I think we've talked about it. I am a firm believer that you should just generally stay away from those type of decisions in life.
I mean, most of the time I try to avoid like any kind of name.
Right. Even like a matching tattoo would be annoying if you broke up.
Right. I mean, it would have to be something that
bitch.
Like a matching tattoo with the woman that you love is always weird too because like what are you gonna find that interests both of you that you won't mind tattooing on your skin that she also won't mind? Like, it's just weird, you know. Just keep those things of your life separate.
Yeah, man. You know, I think
on your
it's smart.
face,
Yeah, on your face. Face tattoos are questionable in general. Like, why would you
face
do that?
tattoos are stupid.
Why, like these island boys? Did you see these island boys? They're like island boys, but I don't think they're real island boys.
Gucci got his ice cream cone on his face.
Yeah.
I thought that was fucking stupid.
Gucci, Guwap.
What's it called? Game put the LA.
Well, first it was a butterfly.
First it was a butterfly. Then he put the star with the LA.
Right.
That looks fucking stupid. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, man. Any face tattoo just looks stupid.
I do like neck tattoos.
Yeah,
I think
neck
they're cool,
tattoos
but
are fine.
I don't even think I would get a
Sometimes you look too gang affiliated. Sometimes,
Yeah, sometimes if you do it like just the wrong way, like you gotta get
Yeah.
your whole neck tatted up to make
fucking
like
Derrick
not this-
Rose style. Have like the Illuminati pyramid
Yeah, I'm
on
like,
his
what
neck.
the fuck is Derrick Rose doing?
Yeah, for sure. I was like, I don't know what you did there, but also it feels like it would be really painful to get this part of your neck tattoo.
I wouldn't want that.
No,
My first.
I have one, and it hurt.
The first
on my arm.
The first tat I think I'm gonna get is it's probably gonna be right here, or
Yeah.
like right here. You know, but
I mean,
soon.
I feel like thigh tattoos is just an interesting thing for a dude. You know,
Well, I like that. Well, I think that's pretty cool.
you know, they're gonna
right
come
here.
and shave your thigh and shit before they do it.
Yeah. Well, I
You're
don't
gonna feel real
necessarily have
dainty.
the largest amount of hair right here.
Yeah, but they still
Some
it doesn't
here
matter.
and some here, but not here.
It doesn't even matter. They still got to shave it.
I know, but I think I would
You
do
gonna
that.
you gonna let a dude shave your thigh?
So I saw Joe Santagato had a pretty cool tat. I'll talk about that on the Patreon because that's just more topics we don't need to speak about here.
Right.
But I'll talk about it on Patreon. So there's that.
All right. Well, hey, Summer Walker, don't get more tattoos on your face, especially if
don't
dudes'
be
names.
stupid. But
Like if I was gonna get something
but
on my
keep making
face,
music.
it wouldn't be. Yeah, for sure. But like,
dude, I'm so sore from fucking working on the house. I also got a deep tissue massage yesterday, and man, that felt great. But I'm pretty sure I'm all sore over my body because of it.
that'll do it. Yeah.
She was going hard in the paint.
But she like a bigger lady, or was she,
She was
like a smaller
like
lady?
not hefty, but in between.
She looked like she would give a good massage if you
Yes,
looked at
yes,
her.
yeah.
All right.
She was, but dude, she did her thing. I walked in, right, and she's like, how's it going? Anything special? What up? Asking about
Yeah.
what I was like, so I work a physical job. I lift weights and I do these.
My back hurts, bitch.
Right. So I'm like, I have a lot of issues from my neck to my lower back, like just
Yeah.
stiffening up and things like that. She's like, all right, cool. We're gonna do full body. I was like, I wouldn't mind it, but if you have to stick to my back, that wouldn't. I could deal with the other stuff. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I was like, just use as much pressure as you feel is needed. I don't care how hard you go. Just make sure you do what you got to do. So she must have been in that motherfucker, man, because my back is sore right now.
I mean, I would imagine that you would know if she was in that motherfucker. You know?
No, I felt elbows and fucking all sorts of shit. I think a knee at some point.
See, some of the masseuses and those chains.
Well, you got to
because that's a chain, right?
Yeah.
Hand and Stone, like they have multiple locations. Obviously, you still have to be a certified like massage therapist to go and work there. But
Yeah.
some of them understand more than others that like when you come and get a massage, yeah, it feels nice, and that's why people go and get a rub down. But like sometimes it's actually just to like massage therapy. Like the therapy part is lost on some of them.
They give you obviously you got to fill it out. I always say for pain relief.
Yeah.
Right. And then I just make sure to tell them like, listen, I'm not here to like
my back hurts.
I don't want to feel good right now. Like I want this feel good after this is done.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, this hurts. I get cramping here. Just fix that. So
Yeah.
she was all over she did my back, and then she actually did my legs too, man. She fucking did she hit my heels and
They
things.
need to develop like some kind of like X-ray technology to like pinpoint where your knots are on your back and shit.
She even stretched it. Like she like pushed my leg back, and then she turned it to the side to help my hips. I've never had
She's over here thinking she's actually a physical therapist.
I've never had anybody do that before. It was pretty dope. So my bad. So I wouldn't mind going back to her. She did a good job. But man, if you've never done a Swedish massage or a deep tissue, I suggest you do it. It's fucking dope, man. It really is.
I'm all about getting a professional massage.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Hell yes.
Hell yes.
Sneakers?
Yeah, let's get the sneakers, man, and then let's get this thing done so we can
After pot it up, and then I can get the fuck out of here.
after the potty. It's the after potty.
And after the after potty, it's painting in the kitchen.
Lottie dottie, we like to after potty. All right.
Oh shit.
So I just brought out some sevens, they call them like the Brazilian Nights or something like that.
I thought they were the Mars 7s.
No, so there's actually a different one. They're the Mars 7s. These are something else.
Oh, okay, cool.
But yeah, one of my favorites. I bought these when I was in Austria, so that was pretty cool that they still had them in stock there because they were out of stock for like a month and a half at this point here. So, just a pair I enjoy, and I don't bring them out too much, but sometimes on the pod I do. So,
Got you.
y'all haven't seen them before.
Yeah. Speaking of favorites, I brought out a crowd favorite, Blue Vapor Maxes.
Mm-hmm.
Bada boom, bada bing.
Yeah, you already know. But yeah, so I guess that'll do it.
Yep.
That's the excitement for episode 119.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button and follow us. I don't know how many people make it to the end. I think there's like 6 people who maybe make it to this point. Shout out to y'all.
Thank you.
Opposite shout out to Glenn.
Always.
For why not? So then for me, my brother Osama, my dog, who has finally decided to find a sleepy place. We will catch y'all on number 120.
Peace.
Peace.